What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another combo tutorial video, and it's going to be continuing my string of Mermail combo tutorial videos that I'm going to be putting up on my channel. Now, this time we're going to be dialing it back a bit in terms of in-depth and difficulty, and go back to an extreme basic combo that actually people probably just aren't aware that it exists, because I've been getting a lot of questions about my deck build involving the cards that, are necessary to run for it. Or not necessary to run for it, but are part of the combo itself, and just further, add value to those cards being in your Mermail deck. But the combo is going to be just an OTK, utilizing Neptibus and Mermail Abyss. It's a 2-card OTK that yields you with 12,600 damage. Now, the reason that I'm making this video is because people have asked me oftentimes why I'm running the entire Teus lead gunned package, because they've seen other builds that are just running Megalos and stuff like that, and they're emphasizing a much smaller Mermail lineup, whereas I find value in the Mermail cards as being amazing combo pieces. And some people just, I guess, don't know that you can do these sorts of plays where you can just generate lethal damage that plays through a damage juggler with just these 2 cards. It's very simple. This ends with 12,600 damage, as I've already said. If it gets stopped, it can only be stopped against Pepe with double damage juggler. But if they had double damage juggler, they're still going to be at it's somewhere in the low range of I think they're still under 1,000. And even then, at that point in time, you can just take a card out of their hand. So you've already hit 2 damage jugglers out of their hand. One is going to replace itself, obviously. But then you can use lead to hit another card out of their hand, and then still have an ability to make a rank 7 in the form of Gaios. Stuff like that. These plays are still completely valid, but you have to also consider that this is only going to be with these 2 cards. You have 4, this is obviously considering that you're going second and that they have an open board, but that's very, very, very generalistic to think about. But you also have to factor in the fact that you have 4 other cards if you're going second. So they could be things like Instant Fusion, Salvage, other Atlantean monsters. All these other things come into play. This is basically just to get the blueprint of the idea of what you're going to be trying to do in your head. It's not a clear-cut combo. You shouldn't ever actually be able to resolve this and win unless your opponent literally opened horribly. But, I mean, it can happen. So anyway, the combo string goes as follows. You normal summon Neptibus, you send Dragoons, and Dragoons will trigger. Your Neptibus adds your second Dragoons, and then the Dragoons that you sent will add Megalo. Going from here, it's very, very simple. It's actually, this entire combo is very simple, but it's just not something that you would consider normal in terms of a play string. But Dragoons, discard Dragoons for Teus. Dragoons searches lead, and then Teus searches gunned. And now from this point, you can activate Megalo, discarding these 2, and then Megalo will trigger and Gun will trigger. So Gun will special lead, and then the Megalo will add Abyss Scale to Mizuchi. You can equip it onto Megalo if you don't have any other spells in your hand that you want to activate at this point. All these different things. But then you use Megalo's effect to tribute Netabyss to gain its second attack. And then the Netabyss will trigger, bringing back Dragoons. To hit. So now what you have is, out of those 2 cards, out of those 2 cards for 1, you've generated 5. Out of those 2 cards, you've generated 5, and you have 17, attack for 17, attack for 18, attack for 27, and attack for 32, attack for 32, and that's 12,600 damage. Now, if they want to damage juggler you, they're going to damage juggler this, and if they block once, it is they still get hit with 94 damage. And if they have double damage juggler and they're able to block this twice, you still hit them for 62, so they're still at 1800. So they're significantly low, but not low enough for it would actually matter in the form of things like Trick Clown and stuff like that. And Instant Fusion. They can still resolve an Instant Fusion or a Trick Clown before losing, so it's not ideal. But then again, like I've already said, this combo is literally just to lay the basic groundwork of the ideologies you want to be thinking of, whereas you can mold this around with any other of the 4 other cards that you have in your hand going second, and obviously if you're answering a board, that's also going to be something you have to take into account, stuff like that. But regardless, if you can't kill them, you can just use lead to tribute the Teus off, and then you're able to You can use lead tribute Teos off, take a card out of their hand, so they've lost another card out of their hand, another resource, and then you could overlay here into a 7, but you'd be losing your Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi. However, your other options that you have available to you is to just not equip the Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi, and just take the chance that they have like a way to actually like completely stop what you're doing. If you have a feeling that they have like double damage juggler or something to stop your plays, or you know you just can't kill them, you can just attack with this, and this is still 11,000, and if they damage juggler this once, that's still 86, so they still have to have 2 damage jugglers to survive. And then in main phase 2, you can then use this tribute lead off. You can make Abyss Gaios and then equip this onto it, or this could have just been a sphere. You have multiple options in this combo string. Since it's so few cards that you're working with, everything is moldable based off how many other cards you have. Like if you have like salvage, instant fusion, stuff like that. The combo doesn't really change that much if you had Diva, because Diva would just stay on the field and you'd attack with it. Or you could just make DeLorean with this and like bounce this to get a boost and then put it back on immediately. Like there's not much that actually changes. It just increases the damage pool by a marginal amount. But overall, that's basically just the gist of it. This is what you're going to be looking at your ending board being. You're actually dangerously close to dropping a Mooling Glace as well, because you have Dragoons on the board already, and you've got 3 engraved. So if you had something like 2 more Waters and another Megalo in your hand, then you could easily just summon that, tribute this for double attacks, get Mooling Glace, and do that as well. That'll be a different combo video as well. There are a bunch of different plays where you can do OTKs while taking 2 to 3 cards out of your opponent's hand as well. Those are going to be other videos that I produce and put up on the channel. But basically, I just wanted to continue making these videos, and I wanted to dial it back and do one like this that was a bit simpler, and just talk about it more in like depth of what can change based off like different factors, just because of people just wanted more of them. Like, it's been a long time since people have seen Mermails, and there's never really been a time and place when Mermails had this sort of combo potentiality because of the introduction of Neptibus. So anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below, and I want to know what you guys think about these combo videos overall in general. But other than that, as always guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the nonsense you usually do. Click an ad if you have not. I'd greatly appreciate it. Helps make money, and there's no reason to lie to you guys about that. If you have an ad block enabled, do me a quick favor, disable it, click an ad or two, then put the ad block back on when you're done. It takes seconds out of your day and does nothing but show your support of the content I'm doing, and it further motivates me to make the type of content that I see you guys are actively enjoying a lot more than the rest and are willing to do that stuff on, because it just makes it much easier to see what types of videos are working, what types of videos are not. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, stuff like that, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to address them. They might be something that gets addressed in a later combo video. Who knows? But I do plan on still doing a few more of these. Some will be simple like this in terms of just 2 card combinations, and some will be, oh, your entire hand has to be like specific cards, but they're also like cards that are multiples of, so it's still not going to be that far-fetched. But anyway, that is it for this video. Let me know if you guys liked it, and as always guys, take care.